Hi everybody, this is Janet Wright and this is an energy healing recap video where I discuss with you and teach you all the energy healing techniques that I use in today's group energy healing. Today's date is December 12th, 2017, and this is Tuesday, so it's the third of the set of 3 healings. And the overall healing set had a theme of clearing compulsive or unwanted behaviors, and also time management and mindful action. And each healing in the set had its own theme that kind of supported that. So today's theme is creativity, joy, and courage. Essentially, this healing helped people have better flow and release of energy of whatever they still needed to release from the last 2 healings. And it helped them clear energy blocks so that they could have more creativity, more joy, and more courage. And we used some great techniques in here, so I am excited to talk about it with you guys. It was a 7-part healing, and the first thing we did is redo the energy, the gold energy aura buffer zones, which is simple and quick to redo those. And if you don't know about gold energy aura buffer zones, they are to help you stay safe. When people throw energy at you, it's like a buffer. So the buffer gets damaged, but your aura does not get damaged. And then you just keep redoing your gold aura buffer zones, which just takes an instant. And that way, if you're consistent enough with redoing them, based on how many people are throwing energy at you, then you stay unharmed, which is very convenient and enjoyable. So I do have a video. If you haven't seen it yet, it went up just this past Friday, so it's new. It's called Gold Energy Aura Buffer Zones. It's 18 minutes long, so if you don't know what they are and how to create your first set and how to recreate them after that, that video walks you through all that. Okay, and it's called Gold Energy Aura Buffer Zones. And it is in the quick playlist, which is a new playlist that has all sorts of little quick videos, usually just featuring 1 or 2 techniques in a video. So again, that's the quick playlist, and those are gold energy aura buffer zones. So that was the first step. Everyone redid their gold energy aura buffer zones. There weren't any that, well, the ones I noticed, they weren't terrible, but they were a little in need of redoing, and I figured we're about to take bold steps forward with the creativity, joy, and courage. So I thought it'd be nice to keep everyone as safe as possible. So that was the first step, just to have everybody, probably half the people are conscious participants, so they know, well, I think more than half of the people are conscious participants and consciously know what a gold energy aura buffer zone is and how to recreate it. Well, yeah, probably about half. And then the other half are, maybe some newbies, maybe some telepathic participants. They consent telepathically, like somebody's husband or somebody's brother. But anyway, so for the telepathic participants, I just, I just tell them to have their angels recreate it, and it works fine. So anyway, that was step 1, keep everyone safe with brand new gold energy aura buffer zones. And then step 2 is we did giant collapsing gold nets, and we did that 3 times. So I have talked about giant collapsing gold nets before in these videos. And so a quick review is it just gets everything out of you that's not you. So that could be people, but it could also be little spirits or beings. And that's not something to, spook you. It's not like a horror movie or something, but it is common that, within your energy field, not only there's you, but then there's, some energy from your neighbor and your boss, maybe, which you clear out. But then, maybe there are little spirits, that it just, clouds your focus and stuff like that. So you want to be at your best. You want to clear that stuff out. So gold giant collapsing gold nets is good for that. Now, why giant? They're giant, literally. You imagine, okay, if this is you, you imagine gold nets that are like 30 feet out, you know, so 30 feet behind you, 30 feet in front of you, 30 feet above you, and then all the way down to the center of the earth. So it's like a big rectangle. It's 30 feet to your left-hand side, 30 feet to your right-hand side, and just, you know, it's like a giant rectangle of gold netting around you, and then, you know, on your command, you collapse it in. And it's just going to tangle up anything that's not you, that's, you know, trying to harass you or throw energy at you. And then you just collapse it all into the net, and then you give that mess to your angels, you know, with the net, and just have your angels recycle it. And some people, some participants, who were actually conscious participants, they preferred not like pulling the net. I kind of like that you make the net like this big clump of whatever, and then you just hand that whole clump to your angels. But some people were, well, just one or two, they're like, well, it's kind of hard to, you know, move it out of me and give it to my angels. And so I was like, well, you can just leave it there and ask your angels, can you recycle all this? And then they'll take it out for you. So that worked fine. So if that's, you know, if that's how you feel. Most people were okay with moving it out, you know, just with their mind, like, okay, there's this big clump of energy now in the net, and I'm going to give it to the angels. But either way works. Just say, angels, please recycle this, or angels, please recycle it, and just hand it to them. But anyway, so that is a nice energy self-defense thing. And the reason you would do giant is because you can have, you know, little beings like far above you sending white energy down to your 7th chakra, which is overwhelming, and they're not actually in your energy, in your aura. You know, they could be, you know, maybe 15, 20 feet up above your head, physical head, or you could have a being like, you know, maybe corded to you and sending you energy, but the being is actually, you know, like 15 feet behind you. And so a giant gold net just, it's like, all right, I'm tired of messing around figuring out where everything is. You just, you know, make this 30 feet in front of you, 30 feet behind you, 30 feet above you, and then all the way down to the center of the earth, and then 30 feet to each side. So that's the idea, and that's the reason. It's just, you know, it's just things happen, and there could be, you know, some things going on that are just, you know, making life way too complicated. And so you could do giant collapsing gold nets whenever you want. I mean, you could do it, you know, a couple of times in the morning, a couple of times in the evening, depending on what your day is like. You know, like I have clients, you know, if you have like a tripped out relative who sends, you know, accidentally, subconsciously channels and sends imbalanced energy to everyone in the family, then you'd need it, or an imbalanced ex that's like that, or if you work in a place that has a lot of sort of wild energy, like, you know, some clients are doctors or, you know, nurses, and they work in medical facilities. And, you know, a lot of people are very triggered in medical facilities. And when people are not present, then they, you know, they're likely to have more weird energy in their energy field. So if you work around those situations, I mean, I think in general around the holidays, it's good to do, but I do it all year around. Just because I need to, but it's quick. Okay, so that's giant collapsing gold nets, and that was step 2 of the healing. And then, and when I do that, I just generally feel less overwhelmed afterwards. So that's nice. And as we've said in other recaps, if you do giant collapsing gold nets, and then as you think of, as it collapses in, you think about, okay, I can let go, I can let go, I can let go. It's like you actually let more of it just get caught up in the net and give it to your angels. So it's not like this flawless thing every time, like your intention matters, you know, and if you're really just focused on letting it go, and that you don't need to be harassed anymore, you know, your life does not need to be overwhelming. You know, and then you actually do get more in the net that way and give it to your angels. So it's nice. Intention does matter. Mindfulness does matter, of course. Step number 3, I will not walk you through. I'll just do the first teeny bit of it, just because it's comfortable. And I think it's nice for you just as you're viewing. But the third step was Tricolor Earth Energy Soak, but the Chakra Love version, and which is just more elaborate a little bit. And that is its own video now, which I don't know, maybe 18 minutes long, something like that, 16, 18 minutes. It's a nice in-depth walkthrough if you like the walkthrough of Chakra Love version of the Tricolor Earth Energy Soak. The point of that was just, again, to get a lot of flow. It's really good for flow. I use it like in the morning, you know, just, you know, get things flowing. Let's just do the first teeny step of a tricolor soak, which is to bring up, you know, red earth energy from the center of the earth. And, you know, we're just going to do one color, so you could do orange or yellow if that works better for you. But just make your grounding a big, wide grounding, red or orange or yellow, all the way down to the core of the planet, nice and wide behind you, in front of you, to your sides, and flowing downward. Take a deep breath. Think about that you can release, you can let go. And then go ahead and bring up earth energy at that color that you picked, all the way up from the center of the earth, all the way up. So I'm gonna do red. No, my angels say I'm gonna do orange. So I'm gonna do orange. So my grounding is now orange, and I'm bringing up orange earth energy all the way from the center of the earth, and I'm soaking my hips and my whole body and my legs and my shoulders, my neck and my head and my aura behind me and to my sides and above me. Orange earth energy, just soak it. Bring it all the way up above your head. Your aura has 7 layers above your head and all around, so soak them all in that orange earth energy. Just like as if you're in like a nice forest. You know, there's so much ambient earth energy in a forest because the trees bring it up for you. So this kind of a similar feeling as if you're in a really nice forest. So I'm just going to leave that up. That's called a soak. And in the tricolor soak, you do with red, and then you do with orange, and then you do with yellow. And the Chakra Love version, which we did in the healing, you then bring up red just in your physical body chakras, all 7 of the physical body chakras. You bring up red earth energy just in this area and soak your chakras, your physical body chakras, and then you bring that down. Then you do orange, and then you do yellow, and then you do the same thing with your spirit body, 7 chakras. Bring up red earth energy for your spirit, 7 chakras, and bring it down, and bring up orange earth energy and bring it down, and bring up yellow earth energy and bring it down. And it can be literally that fast that you do it too, if you do it on your own, or you could take your time. In the healing, I probably, you know, did take my time just because I felt that's what people needed. So as, you know, the chakra love part was happening, I just combed through people's chakras and helped people to absorb as much of the universal gold light as possible while they had that earth energy soak going, and help them to unblock all their chakras while they had the soak going. And during that first part where it's just the aura soak, I comb through the aura, and again, I always like, with people, with myself too, to comb upward above the head and downward below the body. I mean, you can comb this way too, that's always nice, but I think the 7th chakra, this can all get kind of compressed, and so you want, the 7th chakra has to send energy upward all the way to the 7th layer, the top of to the 7th layer, and then it flows downward. So it's easy to get like energy blocks here, which make it harder to wake up in the morning. So, because in the morning your spirit travels through here. Oh, one of the participants talked about, I think that she finally saw a video about angels, working with angels in your sleep. And I do have a whole 3-video playlist called Sleeping and Waking Up. It's an old playlist, but it's good info. And crappy lighting, but oh well. But good info. And so anyway, you need this flowing really well up here in order to feel pretty decent when you wake up in the morning. And another thing, when you wake up in the morning, we didn't do this in the healing though, but those creative rings to heal and unblock your creative rings, that's something that you could definitely put in your, you know, somewhat regular to-do list if you want. You can even do like a 3-second version of it, you know, like a 10-second version of it in the morning. But anyway, it's like it's a short walkthrough video in that quick playlist now, brand new, on the creative rings that are above your head. And again, that helps you with creativity, but also helps you feel good when you wake up in the morning. Because your spirit has to travel through the top of your body's aura, through the creative rings, to get into your physical body, into all your chakras, to feel alert and competent. But anyway, back to what we did in this healing. So we did the whole chakra love to get a good flow. So then everyone was flowing and rocking. And I did comb out the bottom here. Again, that's really important to make sure, particularly these layers here, like 3, 2, 1, are releasing and letting go. Because the first two healings had a lot of really central themes, you know, like Friday's healing was a real home run for a lot of the participants. Clearing invasive energy from parents, parent figures in past lives or this life. And but so that just means keep unblocking your aura layers beneath your feet. Make sure even the second layer, even the first layer are, you know, like it should feel like kind of like hard rain, like when you're combing through, like it can really just, you don't want it to feel like it's holding it in, you know, holding in the energy. I mean, yeah, you want a layer there, but you want a lot of releasing happening as well. Okay, cool. So that was step 3, chakra love, tricolor earth energy soak with combing at the same time. And then that was the 10-minute mark of the healing. Today was a 23-minute healing. So then we did step 4 and 5 were the ones where we focused on creativity, joy, and courage, and clearing energy blocks in the way of having more creativity and joy and courage. So the idea was that compulsive people, or people that don't have that middle gear, they want to be creative, they want to be joyful, they want to be bold, and, you know, continue to have courage and move forward, but they're blocked with it. And so that's why they have that low gear and the high gear. They have the high gear because it's like they're trying to force themselves to be creative and happy and courageous, but it's like there's a block there. So it's like they try and then they push themselves into that extreme of, you know, which is what we handled in the last one, to try to give them a middle gear. But I felt like to continue that was to really open up, what is that middle gear? That middle gear is creativity and joy and courage, you know? And so I wanted to help people, particularly with the deep thought technique and the stacking and clearing energy blocks technique, because I looked at the participant surveys and the people that filled them out and what really helped, you know, because people will say, oh yeah, it definitely helped, or it helped this much, or, and this is how I felt. But then I want to read like, okay, well, which techniques in the healing made that happen for that person? And I double checked, and by far the most, I think the other techniques just supported it all to happen, but definitely the showstoppers of Sunday's healing was the deep thought technique work and the stacking and clearing energy blocks work. So that's why we used those techniques as sort of the main engine of today's healing, was the deep thought work and stacking and clearing energy blocks work for creativity, joy, and courage. Because I felt like, I mean, I could break it down to chakras and stuff and parts of the energy field, but the angels were like, no, it's really about, can these people have creativity and joy and courage consistently? Like, what is holding them back from having those qualities and levels of existence consistently? So that's why we did it this way. So step 4 is we use the deep thought technique, right? Which, you know, I explained in all these videos. So in case this is your first one of mine that you're ever seeing, this is the deep thought technique, but I'm not going to explain it a ton because I have a lot of videos explaining it, like one called Discussing Deep Thought Technique. But anyway, this is the 8th chakra. It's, you can imagine it like a big gold sun that shines high above you, down on you. It's a part of you that's eternal and shines down gold, healing energy and wisdom all the time. And then your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. So you imagine a 3D, you know, representation out in front of you of your 8th chakra as like a gold 3D rectangle. And then your conscious mind, you can imagine as a blue 3D rectangle. And then your subconscious mind you imagine as another blue 3D rectangle, but they're all touching, right? Because these surfaces, the angels called them blending surfaces. So you want these areas to blend and flow together. You want that 8th chakra healing energy and wisdom to permeate your conscious mind. And then you want the wisdom that you actually have in your subconscious mind to be able to flow up to your consciousness. So you don't want an unhealthy level of repression and denial. You want to be able to have self-awareness, and you want to be able to have that eternal wisdom. So you want all this to flow. So that's what we did. We used this technique to clear blocks in the way of your creativity, joy, and courage. So let's just do a couple, okay? Maybe 2 rounds of that. So go ahead and imagine these 3 areas out in front of you, your 8th chakra, your conscious mind, and your subconscious mind, just as, 3D gold rectangles that are on top of each other and touching and connecting. And imagine energy blocks that are in the way of your creativity, joy, and courage that would be gentle and healthy for you to clear right now. And what do they look like? And then just bring up blue earth energy. That is what I did for everybody at the start of this section. I brought blue earth energy up from the center of the earth, specifically blue, because it's a good vibe for your conscious and subconscious mind. It's a good color vibration. And just soak the energy blocks that you see, but also the whole subconscious mind section and conscious mind section. Bring it up. This is called the blue soak. And there is a video that just does this part, the blue soak, which is really nice. It's a nice, short, soothing, comforting video in that quick techniques playlist. And but anyway, imagine those energy blocks that you saw that were blocking some of your creativity, joy, and courage. And what do they look like? For me, some ones that I see right now, they look like little tiny white mountains. And some are bigger than others, and they're kind of pointy. So I already soaked them in blue earth energy, so I'm just going to use my hands and soak them in the gold light and melt away any energy cords that may be going into these, little mountains that I have. And the more gold light that I run through it, and I just kind of relax and try not to fixate too much on it, and I try to breathe. And so it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and there, it just popped, just went away. So that's nice. So let's do one more. Find an energy block in one of these sections. It's not going to be in your 8th chakra, because your 8th chakra is really awesome. It's like this eternal part of you that stays up there, and so you don't have to worry about that. But it could be in this blending surface, or this blending surface, or in this section or this section. And again, some block to your creativity, joy, or courage that is healthy and gentle for you to clear right now. So what does it look like? So for me, just to give you an example, hopefully that'll, help your imagination. I have like 9 boxes, 9 black boxes in this subconscious mind section. They're like in little stacks of 3 each. And so I'm just going to run, soak them in the blue earth energy first. And then I'm just going to run gold light through them and melt away any cords that are going into them, and just melt them away. And while I'm doing that, you could, use your intuition and read a little bit about that energy that you're melting if you want. It's totally optional. You can just melt it without reading it. But like I said in the that little 14-minute video that I made 2 days ago about clearing to become more balanced and moderate, you can read it and use little yes or no questions. So present or past life, present life for me, childhood or adulthood, childhood for me. These are from my childhood. From a male or a female. These are from a male. So then I just kind of feel like it's from a male sibling. So it's just interesting, you know. I mean, it's you still got to melt it away, no matter who it's from. But it is common that you know, whoever you're around as a kid, it's pretty easy to absorb some of their energy, and then it blocks you up later on, even if they meant well, you know. I mean, I think in this case, that person didn't mean well, which happens too. But anyway, it's nice to clear it. So mine cleared. And again, reading it is optional. It's just fun and interesting. You know, that's how you learn about your subconscious mind and what's in there, you know, you read it. Okay, cool. So then we did the stack, and again, you could work that, you know, keep going if you want, you know, just find more and more, and just think, okay, is that enough for me to do for today? Because you want to really optimize your growth. You do want to grow, but then you don't want to, you know, you want to keep it manageable, you know, based on your responsibilities that you have. And also too, you know, if you're clearing something like that, it is transformational. So you want to maybe the next day and the next day do those Tricolor Earth Energy Soak videos at least, you know, that 6-minute process. It's real quick. And if you teach it to yourself, you can do it even faster, you know, even that Tricolor, you know, the Chakra Love process, you know, once you watch the 18-minute video, then you know the process, and or even really listening to my explanation in this video, probably you know the process. So you could do it in like 2 or 3 minutes if you want. Because the thing is, if you clear this stuff, it is gentle, but then it's like your spirit wants to release more and more and more. So it's like something was sort of blocking a flow, and now you have this, you know, more energy blocks that want to clear, and you want to optimize that flow, you know, kind of ride the wave of positive change. So definitely try to, that's why these healings are a set of 3, so you can ride the wave, you know, you get something good started and then you ride it for 2 more healings, you know. So try to do that. I think if people only meditate like once a week and then they don't do anything, not even a tricolor soak on their own in their mind when they're driving, then I think you really miss an opportunity to like get some momentum and really get 3 times more out of the work that you did. All right, cool. So, okay, so then we did step 5, which is stacking and clearing energy blocks for the theme of today, which was creativity, joy, and courage. So go ahead and just think of, you know, stacking and clearing energy blocks is a super easy technique. I do have a video on it in the quick playlist, but you just literally use your intention and put energy blocks that you have out in front of you. You stack them, right? Like, well, however you want. If you like stacking them this way, if you like stacking them this way, that's potato. It's not a big deal. But the idea is you don't have to worry where they were in your energy field to clear them. You just stack them up in front of you with your intention. So just, you know, pick about 6 energy blocks that would be healthy and gentle for you to clear right now, that are somewhere in your energy field that are blocking or lessening your creativity, joy, and courage. Okay, and then just bring up red earth energy to soak those energy blocks, because red is a nice low comforting energy, red earth energy. So just soak them in the red earth energy and then the gold light from your hands or your imagination, and just melt away any energy cores that are going in to these energy blocks from other people. And you don't have to really know, just sort of assume though that there are cords going into them, and just melt away the cords. And then just keep using gold light and melt away the energy blocks. So I have 2 left out of my 6, the 4 melted, and these 2, they're left because there's just some cords still that I didn't get. There we go, 1 is left, there we go. So let's do another one of those. Just stack in front of you about 6, it could be 5, it could be 7, but energy blocks that are healthy and gentle for you to clear right now. And you know, if you're a hardcore energy geek, you do this kind of work all the time, it could be 10 at once. It's fine. I mean, just use your intuition, you know, what's good. Because it's like maybe 6, 6, 6, 6, 6 is better for you than 10, 10, 10, you know, you know, it's an intuitive thing. But anyway, so 6 energy blocks out in front of you that if you clear it right now would be healthy and gentle, and it would help you have more creativity, joy, and courage. And then just soak them in the red earth energy. And then the gold light. Soak them in the gold light from your hands. And that just helps clear the energy cords, melt the energy cords from them, and then melt the actual energy blocks with the gold light. So for me, half of them are already melted. I have 3 left. 2 left. 1 left. There we go. And one commenter, and I always appreciate comments, one video commenter was like, yeah, but I want to know where they're from. You know, you could read it. You know, I just want to feel more creativity, joy, and courage. You know, I just want to... But, you know, you could, like if I look at 2 more, okay, we'll do 2 more, just 2 more, right? Okay, so these energy blocks in the way of my creativity, joy, and courage, these are both 2nd chakra energy blocks. I'm just using my intuition, you know, multiple choice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so they're from my 2nd layer in my aura out in front of me. So in front of my tummy area. And then well, 2nd layer goes all the way around, but generally if they're triggered, they're right in front of the chakra. So they're in front of your 2nd chakra, so in front of my stomach. And they're both past life energy blocks. Repressed anger that I had from a past life. So it's cleared. So, you know, I don't know, you know, if you like reading that stuff, go for it. It's just, like I said, if you want to, just do the easy present or past life. Was I male or female? You know, like just play with it gradually, you know, it's up to you. Okay, cool. So then that was step 5, was stacking and clearing energy blocks to get more creativity, joy, and courage. Yes, woohoo, good job, everybody. So between the deep thought technique and the stacking and clearing energy blocks, you know, you're in good shape. And you can repeat that. You can, you know, with this theme, creativity, joy, and courage, you know, do it again. Go back, do more deep thought work if you want. In this healing today, what we did is we just did a really big chunk of the deep thought work, and then we did a big chunk of the stacking and clearing work. But it's perfectly fine to just do some of this work, some of stacking and clearing, some of this work, some of stacking and clearing. Either way. Chakra love was the 6th step. There were only 7 steps, so we're almost near the end. We're very close to the end of the healing. We did the Tricolor Earth Energy Soak, the Chakra Love version, again, which we did in step 2. So step 2 and step 6 are step 3 and step 6 are the same. Why did we do that? Well, because that work is no joke. The deep thought and stacking and clearing stuff. I mean, it's fantastic. But like I said, it's like you start this really positive avalanche coming out of you of stuff that you've been meaning to release. Like, you know, those 2 energy blocks of mine that I just read for you, those are from a past life when I didn't clear some repressed anger before the end of that life. So I brought it forward, you know, so now with that out of the way, you know, some other stuff wants to clear, you know, my spirit's like, oh man, you know, I remember I got this I want to clear, I got this I want to clear, you know, so you want like a nice huge release that's easy. Okay, so then after step 6, where we did the Chakra Love Tricolor Earth Energy Soak to help everybody release and flow as well as possible, then we did have everybody, I didn't number this as a step, but we did have everyone redo their gold energy aura buffer zones just for some extra safety, and that just takes a second. And then step 7 is that we ask the angels for a blessing, and that was the final step of the healing. So that will be the final step of this video too. So again, and this was the final of the 3 healings of the set. So I just asked everyone to have their angels give them a blessing and help them to wrap up not only this healing, but the whole 3 healing set. So go ahead with your mind, just ask your angels to give you a blessing. And if you're new to that idea, you say with your mind specifically, angels, can you please give me a blessing? And then while it's happening, angels use gold light to heal. So while it's happening, you can just relax and breathe deeply. And you can also think about being open to receiving that divine gold light that your angels are using to heal you. All right. So great job, guys. And I hope that you guys all learned something, and feel free to give this video a thumbs up if you found it useful. And if you have any feedback at all, please post it under the video, because that helps YouTube realize, oh, this is legitimate, this information has value, I'm going to show it to other people. And that would be cool if other people could learn. All right, thanks for watching. And again, don't forget about that awesome quick playlist that has all sorts of short technique videos in it now. Okay, bye.